Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky and I am here for part 2 for Make It New Again for this layout called Bonaventure. Now the new one obviously isn't going to be called Bonaventure, and also I do kind of I stick to it a little bit, but not completely exactly. So right here you can see I did pull out some Felicity Jane to go ahead and do this layout with. I've been trying to work on this one kit and I don't really recall when it was from. It was a Felicity Jane one. It has to be kind of older because I haven't subscribed to Felicity Jane for probably at least a year. So I am going to go ahead and use this diagonal stripe paper as my border. I do like to do that quite a bit. I really like the way that the diagonal stripe looks as a border. On this one, it's just white with some black stripes, so it doesn't have as much pop as the diagonal stripe will usually have, but it still works a little bit. It got me a little bit of black. As you know, Felicity Jane does have quite a bit of black in her kit, so I did want to, you know, have a little bit of the black and white around the border because I knew some of the embellishments would also be that black and white. I did get that page because the opposite side is this really pretty floral right here, and that is what I wanted to use as my like main little piece right here as the base. I'm going to put my photos over on top of that, but that is going to be my main pattern paper. That is why I ended up getting that diagonal stripe paper. Isn't that pretty? I really do love the florals that Felicity Jane has. Here I'm trying to figure out what I want to mount my photos on. At first I was looking at this heart. It's a white with black hearts, but I couldn't really get the hearts to line up how I like them to. That's not really ever a good option for me if I try to mat photos with hearts or dots or a pattern like that, because there's always some space, more space on one side than the other, and I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. You can see I ended up going with this other patterned paper to go ahead and mount my photos in. It's the same color, kind of the peachy that is that background paper. Now Felicity Jane kits do come with a couple solid color papers. I don't know if she calls them cardstock or not. They're not. They're the same weight as the papers, but I did use one of those for the background as well right here. Here I go ahead and use this coral heart. I am going to have that go out from either side of the photo, and you can see I have that Love This card over on the right hand side sitting on my desk. I'm going to end up pulling out my Big Shot as well as some circle dies to go ahead and cut that into a circle. I am going to end up using that as my title for this layout. It looks like right here I didn't actually end up doing the finishing touches of my editing, and I was not aware that I had left this all in here, but that's okay. I go ahead and do this for this floral piece as well. I thought I would use it on this layout, but I am not going to end up using that on this layout. It might come into a play on a different layout in the future. We'll see how that works. Right here, I am going to go ahead and commit to these pieces over on the sides. I did want to have a few more layers over there. Here I pulled out that stripe because I had some extra from that floral paper. There was some extra on the back side of it. I thought I'd layer it up a little bit, but it does not look right. That's going to end up going away. I do want to put a embellishment cluster right over there at the left hand side of the photos. You can see how I have the butterflies. In fact, on the original one, it goes all the way down the left hand side of that photo over there. On this one, I'm just going to have it up here at the top. I will end up using that black tag. It is part of the Felicity Jane kit, and I will end up loop-de-looing some crochet thread through there. And here I'm just pulling out a lot of little bits and pieces that were in the embellishment pack, or the ephemera pack that was with this kit. There were a lot of teeny tiny hearts. They're kind of thicker and they're glossy, so I am going to use a bunch of those down around the page, and I also do pull out a couple of the floral pieces. Right there at the top you can see I have a big floral piece to start building a cluster up there, but I wanted something to ground it. Right here I'm off screen. I think I am cutting a piece of the stripe paper. Yeah, right there. I'm cutting it into a banner shape. You can see it's pretty long, so I'm just going to pull it up and rip it apart and glue it back together to make it shorter because, you know, I'm lazy. I didn't want to trim the end off and have to cut the banner piece again. So that's how I remedied that. That is going to end up being the base of my layout right here. Now this kit from Felicity Jane did come with several, no, not several. It came with a pack of rubber charms, which are not the easiest for me to use, but I do get a couple on this page. The one I put on that Love This Circle says XOXO. I am going to end up pulling out a mini stapler and stapling that on there. We're going to go ahead and commit to the placement where we have everything at this point. I'm going to go ahead and stick that down and stick this photo block down as well. Now I do use the lines from how the hearts are on this paper to kind of try to get it as straight as I could. I do like papers that are like that for that reason, because it's easier sometimes to get things straight if you have a linear pattern. So that was kind of enjoyable. I didn't really have to worry too much about it being crooked. Since I've been back to scrapping, I took off quite a bit of time in March. And since I've been back, I've kind of felt like I've been struggling quite a bit with this. I am working from home now. At first, I was still going into the office to work, but I did figure out some things that I can do from home. So I still go into the office every once in a while just to pick things up to bring home with me. The bad part about working from home is I seem to not be able to distinguish the difference, or not distinguish the difference, but when to stop, you know? So I still haven't, I thought if I worked from home, I could have more playtime, right? Well, that's not the way it's been working out for me. It's like I can't pull myself away from the breakfast table sometimes to stop working. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a balance, and it's hard for me. I haven't figured it out just yet. Now, I don't actually build a cluster over here in the bottom right. I do just stick this little yellow flower down there. I will pop it up on some foam tape to give it a little bit of a lift. You can see in the original one, I have a tag there. Now, what I'm seeing in that original one, you can see where there's this foam word that says lovely and toward the bottom, and you go across and then you can see the tag. First of all, my tag is naked. But second of all, that area that's between those two pieces, I don't like it. There's something about that strikes me as no. I should have just left that tag off of there, or possibly even left the word lovely off of there. So I am going to finish up here with some Heidi Swap Color Shine in Gold. I think, nope, I didn't on this one. I was gonna say I think I used my Close to My Heart pin too, but I didn't on this one. All right, guys, after I do that, I am not going to be doing anything else to this layout. Sorry that editing was not super fabulous. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.